Europe was no longer sustainable, Your Majesty. Your mechanical revolution has changed the face of the kingdom, but the coffers are woefully empty.
The debt, Monsieur Necker. This debt that you and your banking friends helped to create for your own benefit, and which is now forcing us to levy new taxes. Will my subjects be able to bear another tax?
Yes, Your Majesty, as long as it is distributed fairly. The representatives of the nobility, the clergy, and the Third Estate must come to an agreement. That is why we have convened the Estates General. Tomorrow you are to preside over the opening ceremonies.
Your Estates General. Nothing good can come of it. You have roused the spirit of rebellion. All I hear about are their damned cahiers de doléances. My rightful enjoyment is being challenged. The streets of Versailles are teeming with loudmouth fanatics with sacrilegious thoughts. Tell me, Monsieur le Ministre, have you purposely set this army of the unwashed against me?
Your Majesty, I have always been your most faithful servant.
Beware, Necker. Beware. I have a surprise in store for anyone who dares attack my throne.
My dear Suzanne, take my hand, please. Don't let them take me away. No. Oh no, this has to stop. I don't want to be tormented anymore.
That is not my intention. I have come to rescue you.
Rescue me? But what on earth are you?
It is of no importance. What did you see and hear before you regained consciousness?
I had frightful visions, rageful wraiths filled with pain and sorrow. And it was cold enough to curdle the blood. Oh, it's impossible to describe. All the rage and anger. I was in another body, I think. So big, so powerful. And there was this commanding voice, ordering me to spread terror and death. Did I really hear it? Or did I momentarily lose my mind?
Who are you, monsieur?
Don't you know? I'm Jacques Necker, Ministre des Finances. Well, I was before I was captured. But this situation suggests that the king has decided to dismiss me from his service.
What does he accuse you of?
My alleged connivance with the Third Estate, no doubt. And most of all, for having been the first to ask to convene the Estates General.
How and when were you captured?
When the machines attacked, my wife and I fled our home to hide not far from there, in the Église Sainte-Marie. But we didn't stand a chance against the machines. They overran the nave, wantonly mowing down the faithful. My wife, my poor wife, she wasn't able to escape. I'm sadly convinced of this. As for me, my life was spared only so I could be tormented. What is the meaning of all this?
How and when were you captured?
When the machines attacked, my wife and I fled our home to hide not far from there, in the Église Sainte-Marie. But we didn't stand a chance against the machines. They overran the nave, wantonly mowing down the faithful. My wife, my poor wife, she wasn't able to escape. I'm sadly convinced of this. As for me, my life was spared only so I could be tormented. What is the meaning of all this?
What will you do now?
There is no future for me in this kingdom. I need to find a safe place where I can prepare for my departure as soon as possible.
I will take you to the Cordelier convent. You will be safe there.
À la bonne heure, she's back.
Aegis, what a joy and relief to see you again.
Monsieur,
Welcome to our stronghold. I'm sure that everyone here is aware of the great debt we all owe you. As you can see, the most exhausted among us are growing stronger.
While the most determined are already planning our counterattack.
I did not expect to see you all together.
4 days ago, the representatives of the Third Estate gathered in a tennis court. They swore not to separate until they had established a constitution for the nation. But that was not the only oath we swore. All the honorable men who were at Versailles, representatives and patriots, members of the Club Breton, secretly swore to meet here if they were dispersed.
You, Aegis, have allowed them to gather once again. Though unfortunately many are missing, we still have hope.
Why did you choose to meet in this convent?
It was my idea. Voyez-vous, I stay here whenever my obligations bring me to Paris. No other retreat inspires such peace and contemplation. Et puis, truth be told, this building has always felt like a fortress to me. Just look at how thick these walls are.
For 2 whole days, the patriots in the quarter consolidated the outer walls to make it an impenetrable citadel. No automat has broken through our defenses yet.
Where are the monks, mon père?
They are secluded in their quarters, praying for the salvation of the people of Paris. However, we bear no illusions. We are weak, we are divided.
And we are unarmed. Without you, without your warrior strength, we have no chance of turning things around.
You are sent by heaven above, Aegis. From now on, you may consider the Cordelia Convent your headquarters and a welcome refuge.
We must speak, you and I, in private, if you please. Monsieur de Lafayette must not hear a word of what I'm about to tell you.
What do you mean? You all seem to be certain that I will use my strengths to serve your cause. Are you forgetting that I have a task to accomplish?
Not at all, madame. We all know and support your plan to free Monsieur de Vaucanson. That is why I've taken the time to think of a way for you to get to the Bastille.
I am listening.
There is a patriot in Paris whose pamphlets have aroused Monsieur de Lafayette's ire. His anger is so strong that the poor man had to disappear to escape arrest. I know that he is secretly hiding in the quarries in Montmartre. A labyrinth he is said to know like the back of his hand. If anyone can help you navigate the obstacles that keep you from the Bastille, it is the elusive Monsieur Marat.
Very well. I will go and find him. Monsieur Necker.
I owe you my life, madame. So I am embarrassed to ask you for anything more.
Do not fear. You have my full attention.
Suzanne, my beloved wife. I cannot bring myself to accept her death. Despite all the evidence, I still hope to see her alive again. I need to be sure. Mon Dieu, what have I done to deserve such a fate? Why has the king sworn to destroy me? And all that I hold dear, after everything I've done for him, my abnegation.
Why would the king owe you anything?
I dedicated my life to the kingdom as his minister. Well, my life and my fortune as well. I refused to accept any remuneration for my services in order to keep the accounts balanced. And I personally filled the king's coffers with 2.5 million livres from my own private accounts, bonds in the Caisse d'Escompte,
which the king keeps in a tailor-made armoire de fer in the Palais des Tuileries. He stores all his secrets there. I'd wager there's enough in there to sully his reputation 100 times over. You must retrieve these bonds post-haste, madame. They must not be used to allow this madman to build more murderous automats.
Do I have any chance of opening it?
Don't even think about it, madame. Despite your incredible strength, that safe is said to be impenetrable. It was designed precisely to that effect. I personally never had access to it. I suppose that its contents were too unofficial for the honest minister that I always was.
Who has the key?
The king does, that's for sure.
Anyone else?
How could I know? His shadow advisors, most likely. Now that I think about it, there's a rumor that has been going round Versailles for a while now. It's said that Monsieur de Mirabeau used to come and go as he pleased at the Tuileries, that he oversaw diplomatic missions for the crown. Not in any official capacity, of course. Who knows? He might know more about this matter than I do.
I will ask him. I will look into what happened to your wife.
Bless you, madame.
Where should I start my investigation?
In the Faubourg Saint-Germain, east of Les Invalides. We were separated in the Église Sainte-Marie, on Rue de Bourgogne.
I shall be off.
You are the only hope of seeing my beloved wife again, and of foiling the plans of the clockwork tyrant.
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
Eh bien. Do you come bearing news from Monsieur Marat?
No, not yet.
I have it on good authority that he's the
Is your plan to arm the populace going as planned?
Oh, far from it, madame. The situation is hopeless. Even if they were armed and formed into battalions, the Patriots would not be able to fight.
Why is that?
Most of the strategic points in the city are inaccessible. A strange illness strikes all who try. They are seized by an irrational fear, one so great that those who do not lose consciousness go mad or perish on the spot. This makes it impossible to do anything. Any attempt at an uprising is a fool's errand.
The locations you mention share a common feature. A statue holding a lantern.
That's right. From what little I could make out, they appear to be depictions of a Vestal Virgin watching over the sacred fire.
Une lanterne des morts.
What do you mean, monsieur?
Lanterns of the dead. Ancient stone pillars that are found near some cemeteries. Our ancestors kept a fire going on top of them. Today, no one knows what they were used for. A symbol of light triumphing over darkness, perhaps? Others claim that human bones, mercury and lime, were burnt there. Some odious sorcery that was meant to entrap the tormented souls that wandered around the burial grounds.
That makes sense and confirms my observations. I am now certain that the King's lanterns capture the anima essence of the dead who have been cast into purgatory, and that this essence is what allows the automats to stay in motion, without needing a key to wind them.
Pater noster qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum.
Now that I think about it, madame, you obviously are not subject to the harmful effects of these lanterns.
No, au contraire. When activated, These statues reveal an apparatus that allows me to repair myself.
It follows that if you destroy these lanterns, the people will be free to fight again.
Unfortunately, they are preternaturally strong. Nothing can so much as damage them.
If only Monsieur Lavoisier were with us, he would surely be able to solve this conundrum.
Goodbye, Monsieur de Robespierre. Monsieur Bailly.
I am the...
I found a document written in a script that I was unable to read.
Let me see. Je vois. These pages were written using some sort of shorthand. A variation on Taylor's system, no doubt. I'm wont to use it myself from time to time while jotting down my ideas as they come.
What does it say?
It's a bit difficult to decipher. Je crois. I believe it's an autopsy report. The author writes that the subject died from a large dose of prussic acid.
What is prussic acid?
My apologies, Aegis, but I'm no chemist. You should ask Monsieur Lavoisier.
Goodbye, Monsieur B. Monsieur de Mirabeau. Minister Necker claims that you were a familiar face at the Tuileries Palace.
That old story. Will it hound me until I have drawn my last breath? This, madame, is nothing but an unfounded rumor that I am trying in vain to dispel. To what do I owe the displeasure of having to defend myself once again?
I must get hold of some documents that are kept in an armored safe in the King's chambers.
What luck could resist your talents?
Minister Necker said it was indestructible.
Oh, I see. Well, let me think. Who could help you? After all, a lock is nothing more than a simple mechanism. Nothing that can resist the expertise of our dear Monsieur Bailly. Why don't you ask him for help?
I'll be sure to do so.
Now, who else might be of use? Oh, there's Monsieur Lavoisier as well, our gunpowder commissioner. If he were here, I'm sure he'd have no trouble finding you something you could use to blow the door off that stubborn safe.
Sadly, he's still at Luxembourg.
Then it is high time you rescued him, madam. Now, if you'll forgive me, I have an urgent matter to attend to.
You are forgiven for everything.
In that case, it has been a pleasure, madam.
Has anyone seen Monsieur de Mirabeau?
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
How was your search at the Vaucansons' home?
I found this penknife there. I was struck with a vision as soon as I picked it up. I saw Mademoiselle de Vaucanson running from the Comte de Cagliostro. This letter refers to a hiding place where she often sought refuge. It's in the Jardin du Luxembourg.
I know the place. One day, Eugène and I were walking in the Luxembourg Gardens when suddenly Athénaïs jumped out from our hiding place like a wild animal. It was a startling, almost frightening sight. The spot is on the edge of the garden, hidden by vegetation between two statues.
I'm looking for a way to force a lock that is supposed to be unbreakable. Monsieur de Mirabeau advised me to ask you for help.
But I'm an astronomer, mon enfant, not a locksmith. I know my way around lenses, filters, racks and tripods. But I've never given a moment's thought to how a lock works. God, Monsieur de Mirabeau was joking with you, that's all. Où est-il, ce brave homme? So that we might ask him.
He has left. A matter that could not wait.
Excuse me? Do you mean he left the convent? That's madness. What was so important that he would put himself in such danger?
Intriguing indeed.